Supportive ones, yes. What makes them supportive?
Information.
Evidence.
Text.
Evidence, and that evidence should be
Cited.
true. So I guess I don't know if I'm leading you there as well.
Once you put in evidence, what do you have to do? What
Quote.
after you quote, after you put in the quote, and after you cite it, what do you have to? You can't. Can you just drop in evidence?
Okay, here's
Emily had it.
This is the point I was going for. Oh, did you want someone else?
Emily had it. What I was going for. Explain.
Explain. Yes. So, for instance, you can't say, "I like puppies because watermelons are green." Doesn't make sense, right? You've got evidence, but it's terrible evidence. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We've got this awesome game called Argument Wars. And
Sounds like some Zach
we're going to do this first run through together because it is just a little complicated. So these are all real life cases, and you get to choose which side you want to be on, and then you have to effectively argue your case. So we're going to get started on Brown versus the Board of Education. Which avatar should I choose?
blue hair.
The last
Blue
one.
hair.
Blue hair?
Well, there's two with blue hair. Which one?
The guy.
Okay. What should his name be? Give me a good name.
Joel.
Bob. I like Bob.
Billy, Bob,
Billy
Joel.
Bob Jones.
Billy Bob Joel.
Wow.
Okay. Now I'm going to choose this side. This is a real case, and it was about ending school segregation. So school segregation should end so African American students can get an equal education. The opponent is saying states should be able to make their own education laws and create separate schools for kids based on race. So we're going to continue. Now, here's the awesome judge. Court is now in session. Tell me about your case. And they're going to explain what's going on. Actually, I need to have someone else read this. How about that? Lily!
Your Honor, I am here today because of great injustice. By law, many black children are forced to attend different schools than white children.
You keep going.
This is called segregation, and it treats black students unfairly. Their schools are almost never as good as the white schools.
Okay, I need someone else to be the judge.
Andrew.
Jalen.
Okay. I can't read my paper at this point.
You can sit up there. That's fine.
Well, that's not good. I just ordered the states to make the black schools better.
Okay, Lily, it's back to you.
Jalen, sit down.
That's not enough. Separating people based on races treats them unequally. The system is put in place so that white students wouldn't have to go to school with blacks. That's not right. Courts need to strike down these state laws saying whites and blacks must go to different schools because our Constitution requires that everyone be treated equally.
Alright, Judge.
Okay, now let's hear from the other side, the school system. What do you argue?
Alright, who wants to be the opposing judge?
Sydney.
Andrew.
Sydney.
And let's do Andrew. Andrew's good at doing voices.
And
Yes.
segregated schools can give a good education to everyone. It should be up to the people in each state to decide what kind of school they want to have. And if some schools for black students need to be improved, you can fix it and make them equal.
Alright.
Why shouldn't the court step in to solve the problem?
Because your schools are already working to make sure that black and white are equal.
Alright. So now you, as the whichever law you are, you have to pick which amendment.
Hold
So
on,
we're
let me
going a
read
little
them.
cross constitutional.
Fourth
Here we-
Amendment, no.
So we've got no unreasonable searches, we have equality under law, and then we have the speedy trial and a right to a fair or impartial jury. So which one of these three are we talking about?
14th Amendment.
14th Amendment, there you go. And then you confirm it, and you already get extra points for getting the right amendment. So
Yay.
that's good off the bar.
I'm amazing.
Okay, now here's how you play.
This is
I know it looks a little complicated, but it'll walk you through your first time. So you're gonna. Which one do you guys want me to choose first? We've got excluding people, teaching each other, and old case.
Excluding people.
Excluding people. All right, here's this argument. Generally, it is white people that made the decision to send black and white students to separate schools. Studies show that this makes black students feel excluded and inferior. Do you think we should play that one?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
Let's look at the other ones as well to see what those arguments are.
Okay, so yeah, definitely read each one. So.
Because that one's
yes.
good, but maybe the next one is even more effective than
That's
that
a
one.
good point, Ms. Ernest. Alright, so let's also look at, well, we already talked about it. Let's look at teaching each other. Okay, black students' education is hurt when they are segregated because they cannot talk to and learn with white classmates. The Supreme Court already ruled this in a case called McLaurin versus Oklahoma State. So we've got that one, and that's a Supreme Court case. That has weight, but be careful. Not all Supreme Court cases are valid for what you're looking for. And also old case. Although the Supreme Court said that separate but equal was okay, all of the justices who decided that case are dead now. So it shouldn't matter what they said back then in the place called Plessy versus Ferguson.
I like excluding.
Alright,
Why is the old case not a valid argument? I mean, they're dead, so it doesn't matter, right?
What did they support?
That's not a good
That's
Hold on,
not.
guys, why is it not good to say just because they're dead and gone, this means that we can totally throw this out the window?
Because they have like evidence.
Right, but why is this evidence bad?
Because it's not valid.
Did they
with
make a good
argument.
argument about?
Okay, it's not valid. Why is it not valid?
Because it's not recent. It doesn't have.
It doesn't have reasons to back up its all mistaken.
Kind of dancing around it here. Okay, let me put it this way. The founders of the Constitution are dead and gone. Does that mean we should throw the Constitution out the window?
No.
Why?
Because
It's
what is
still.
the Constitution?
Well, because, okay, so why is
They
the
signed
Constitution,
it, so
but why is the Constitution important?
because
it makes
Yes, it's the law of the land. So just because these guys for Plessy versus Ferguson are dead and gone, does not mean that maybe they didn't make a valid case. So we just need to look further for better evidence. So we're gonna discard that one because that one's kind of bleh. So let's just stick with these two right now because we already read them. So excluding people or teaching each other? Excluding people. Alright, so we're gonna drag and drop. Now your opponent has the opportunity to object to your thing, but see they didn't. Now this is the tricky part. I like where the player is going with this, tell me more, because it takes you to the truth. Now you have to connect your support to the argument. You have to explain, but they give you this here.
And this is exactly what you have to do in your essays. This is when you have the evidence, you have to explain and analyze your evidence and tell me why it supports your argument that you're trying to make.
And as you can see, there are 3 choices for each one. And it should be fairly obvious because sometimes they'll say, because banana is not a fruit. I mean, no duh. That's not what we need to be looking for. So we have if Oklahoma, if segregation, if teachers, hurts black students' education, plays games, is totally boring, then the lawyer is tired. Then they are equal, then they are treated unequally. If segregation.
If segregation hurts black people, students, education.
Okay, what's the last one?
then they're
And
treated
they're
unequally.
Okay, then they're treated unequally. Let's see if that works. It's gonna go all green if it's right. There we go. And then you get bonus points for getting that right. Well done. Let the record document the player's skill. Your support is good. Your explanation made it great. Outstanding. So there we go. And they'll give you lots of points. Alright, so there are still points on the board up here. So we still have a few things we need to do. Okay, it's popular. Let's see how good this is. A lot of people want schools to be segregated. They should stay segregated. Objection. Alright, let's see what happens. Ding! It throws it off. The player appears to be correct. Their support was no good. Courts don't decide based on what people want. They should be based on the law. But still, here we go. We rule in favor of Brown. We won. And then you get to see what actually happened in the real court case. Who wants to read that? Lily.
In 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that school segregation was a violation of the 14th Amendment because segregated schools could never be equal. The decision was anonymous,
Unanimous.
which means all the judges agreed. This overturned the principle of separate but equals. which the Supreme Court had said was okay, in a case called Plessy versus Ferguson in 1896. After Brown versus Board of Education states and school boards could no longer make students of different races go to different schools.
So in this case, we reenacted what actually happened. But sometimes, even if you win, that's not how the real court case played out. So today, you
I
get
think
to
it's
try
inter-
it.
I think it's interesting they give you a certificate too, which is really cool.
Yeah. Should we give them the opportunity to, if they want it, or do you think that would be?
Heck yeah, I want a certificate.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. So we are going to go to this website. Go on and get your computer. Let's see what we got.
Yep.
There we go. Yep. Yes.
Can we get started when we get done?
Here, go. Scroll up.
Next case, the last case.
Go back. Let me
What
see.
does it mean?
Make sure you're on this case.
Yeah, it is.
So then go ahead and get started.
Don't go to iCivics. Just go to iCivics. Just put iCivics Argument Wars in the taskbar, and it should be the first link that pops up. Yep. Say no thanks when it gets to the thing. Yep. New Jersey versus TLO. And you get to decide which side you want to be. All right. Good. It's okay. There we go. First one. Yeah. There you go. You got it. You're on. So should I be TLO or New Jersey?
TLO.
TLO. All right.
New Jersey's hard. I'm not.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you tried that. Good. All right. So everybody already did this. I'll go through it real fast because we already did this.
This
part.
was hard.
It's the
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It was
I
easy.
lost in that one.
Well,
I won.
that means that everybody had a different perspective.
I did New
That's good.
Jersey.
Me too.
That one's hard.
All right.
Irish.
All right. So which one is it, guys?
Fourth.
Fourth Amendment. No unreasonable searches. All right.
We're gonna have to restore this.
Can we do Gideon versus?
All right. It's because it's the first case again. It does this. We'll see. We'll see what kind of time we have and what else Mr. Ernest would like you to do. Okay. Sorry, gotta go through this. Okay. So which one did y'all find was most effective?
Students' rights.
Students' rights. Oh.
Raise your hand for students' rights. All right, students' rights.
I don't think I started off with that one.
All right, tell me more. Which one is it gonna be, guys?
Um,
Oh wait, no more tutorials.
Okay.
If students have the rights,
If students have rights,
then the government can't search.
can't search.
Their stuff without a reason.
All right. Green, green, greens. Okay, different rules. Special rules should apply to students while in school because they are not yet adults. They do not have the same right to privacy as adults. Should I pass or
Object.
object?
Object.
Hold on, okay, object. Pass.
Object.
Alright, I don't.
Actually,
Object.
I think I saw them off more for object.
I thought that was
Object. Alright, I'm gonna do object. Let's see what they say. Uh-oh.
I was seeing he made the argument.
Well,
I did
hey,
object right away.
we were just gonna see what happened.
Alright, we died.
Just 100, just 100. Let's see, they didn't even get that many though. Cause it was just an idea but
Yeah.
sometimes they'll give you a terrible garbled mess.
No, did.
Oh no. No. Sometimes they'll actually give a correct response. And they're gonna get a lot of points for that. Alright, we gotta make up some lost ground, guys. We draw. Which one? One required? Okay.
That's what she did on me. And I put a jit on my points.
Which one?
Required. I put a really good reason I feel like that's
Okay, hold on. I can make it. I just don't know why it's being. There we go. Ah, they did it yet.
stupid.
Good. Alright, they lost 100 points. Good.
Y'all.
Tell me more. Alright, guys. What's it gonna be?
If the Fourth Amendment wants to search,
The
um,
school needs.
the school,
No.
then there is no
warrant
need,
is needed.
then, wait,
Wait.
then the
If the
school
Fourth
needs.
Amendment requires a warrant to search, then the school needs
No,
one, right?
if the
Yeah.
Fourth Amendment wants to
That's
search
correct
everyone,
one.
then the school needs one.
If the Fourth Amendment wants to search everyone?
No.
No.
Because we're talking
It's right the
about.
way it is. It's right the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I had a different one.
But we still
There
want.
we go.
Those are the ones.
Alright, good.
Hey, recording. Give me that last.
Oh, well, we won. I was not expecting that.
You smoked them.
Weird, amazing.
Alright, he's heard enough.
You're gonna get even.
I'm actually gonna try.
No, 'cause I
Well,
didn't get to finish
we'll
it.
see
I'm
if we've
okay.
got enough time. We'll see. And we get the extra 200 bonus points. Good. And TLO, we won. And then y'all read about what happened. It actually was for the other side. It did not violate the students' privacy for them to have a search because see how they had reasonable suspicion instead of probable cause. See how those just that slight wording completely changed the outcome of the case. Because probable cause is a higher level, while reasonable suspicion is kind of like, yeah, we think this is going on. So, does it make sense why? Can y'all make, well,
I should have been the one.
probable cause, what do y'all think about that? What makes that a higher level?
It means you have the right to do that.
Hold on, Andrew. I was hearing, wait, hold on, was that Andrew or Kevin? Or
It's gonna be.
Sorry, Kevin.
You have the right to do it.
Right to do it, what's the difference though between probable cause and reasonable suspicion? Why is this higher, and why is this lower, do you think?
Because reasonable suspicion.
Wait, hold on, can you people one time? Raise your hand. Jalen?
Because, like, reasonable suspicion, you don't have, like, the right to, just because, like, the person's mind looks suspicious, you don't have the right to go to their stuff.
So you're saying that reasonable suspicion is a little, it's, you can tell a little more easily and you see a few more clues maybe than, or probable cause you have to have like definite evidence, right? Versus reasonable suspicion where there's just a few things. Okay, so that makes more sense? Okay, well, I think y'all had, seeing from your screens, you guys did really, really well today. And even if you lost, you still learned a lot. So, do you think we should do another case, Ms. Ernest? Or do you think we have
Yes.
I think that we need to talk about. I think each kid needs to do a y'all can do some more on your own, but I think you need to write your reasons why you're choosing specific evidence. So on a separate sheet of paper while they're working through their own cases, if whatever one they want to work on, that's fine. But I need them to write down what case they're doing, and then why is the evidence that you chose? Why is that? Why did you choose it? What is the reasoning behind it?
So,
we're-
when you choose each piece of evidence, you should explain why you chose it and why it works. So go on and get out a sheet of paper, and you're gonna do another case that's different or a case that we've already done, and then you're going to document.
We're in the middle of the case. We just started the next one.
Yeah, go to the next one. Finish up the one that you're currently on and then start on the next one. And if you're doing one for the first time, then just go on and start documenting that case.
That's how you turn off